What is going on, everybody? Welcome back, Dudes Who Bet Daily, April 2nd, 2023. Going to do a little two-man weave today, just me and the Papa Dude. First off, Papa Dude, get your thoughts on this Florida Derby. What did you think of Forte yesterday? Because it's been interesting how people have not been saying it was a great performance. What was your take on it?
I think it was fantastic, I thought. I would rather see him do that, get in trouble like that, and win a race that if you listen to the announcer and if you heard what Irad said afterwards, everybody thought he was beat.
Yep.
I thought he was beat, didn't you? I just thought he was. I thought he'd had it. And to come and close like he did against a horse that was running really well, I think it's a phenomenal race. I really do, because that was a race he could have easily lost.
It's the first time we really saw him get in trouble.
Yeah.
And Mage made this move on the outside of Irad, which forced Irad to wait on Forte. It didn't feel like Irad really asked him all that much either. He hit him 3 times down the stretch, so he wasn't really just going crazy on him. I thought it was an impressive win. It also, my biggest concern with Forte is his running style for the Derby, right? He's going to come from off the pace. He's going to get in traffic. He's got to figure out how to weave through it. And it feels like at least part of that was answered today. Obviously, the field will be better the first Saturday in May, but it feels like he at least answered that traffic trouble question here.
Yeah, he showed he's got guts. You know, he was beat. There's no doubt about it. It was funny. The track announcer, old Pete, he goes, "He better hurry," or something like that. "You better hurry," you know, because everybody was rooting for him, I think, because we want that superstar. And I thought that was so funny. Because he better hurry.
It's more fun when horses like that win, right? And now to have a horse that's going to be, I projected last night 2-1 morning line. I'm guessing around 8-5 are going to be off odds for Forte in the Derby, as long as everything goes smoothly up until the first Saturday in May. It's fun to have a horse like this that going into it, like last year you looked at it, you're like, they're probably not a Triple Crown winner.
Yes.
This year, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's a heck of a lot more likely than it was last year.
It sure looks like the horse has got the talent to do it. And, he answered a lot of questions. Like I say, I am so impressed with him. More than I would have been had he won by 6 lengths, because that field wasn't great, but he got in all kinds of trouble. And I just don't think people realize that, guys that are on here, listen to us, they do. That is a tremendous run to close like that. Man, you had to make up a lot against a horse that was running well. That was it. I was very impressed with him. I have no doubt who I'm picking in the Kentucky Derby, but we don't know what the draw is yet. And that's the big deal, with the Kentucky Derby, which we'll talk about more down when it gets closer to what. I think it's unfair how they do it. But anyway, that's just me.
Mage ran exceptionally well as well.
Yeah.
And this is the break for the second straight race. After breaking well 2 races in a row. So I get the hey, Mage can't break well, but hey, Mage did twice. So now we've had a 50-50 sample size. Not exactly something you want to worry about in a 20-horse field. But I thought that was a wildly impressive race as well, to do that from off the pace. Angel of Empire. Go ahead.
No, you have to wonder, did Mage think he had that race won? He probably did. I think they probably did think they had that horse race won until they heard the locomotive coming up from behind them.
Well, that's the thing. You got to be so confident. If you're the jockey on Mage and you just go right by Forte in the turn, you're like, I got the jump on him. I'm going to be able to open up. He's going to have to wait to get out.
Yeah.
Didn't matter.
Yeah.
Didn't matter. Angel of Empire wins the Arkansas Derby. I thought that was an impressive race as well. Everyone got a good trip. And Angel of Empire beat the crap out of that field. Rocket Can was in there, got a good trip, lost by 5 lengths. Rocket Can was a horse that was about 5 or 6 lengths behind Forte in the Fountain of Youth. So I think Angel of Empire, legitimate here, second, third choice in the Derby based off that Arkansas Derby performance.
Yeah, I thought that horse ran extremely well. Was overlooked by most of us. I was lucky and picked him because I just felt like he wasn't any worse than the rest of them. Thrilled to death that Reincarnate didn't do anything. It just thrilled me. I love it. So I think Angel of Empire is one to look at.
Yeah, it was an interesting race. I picked Rocket Can on top. I thought Reincarnate was going to be a 9-5, 8-5 favorite. Reincarnate goes off at 3-1. The live stream, I'm like, you got to bet Angel of Empire at 9-2.
Yeah.
Just a way better price than Rocket Can sitting there at 2-1.
And how would you like to have a horse like Red Route 1 who you just simply you can't get that horse to run? You just can't do it. So.
Were you watching the stream when I made my take?
Yeah.
I think Red Route 1 has a better shot in the Derby than he
Well,
did
he
in
might.
the Arkansas Derby yesterday, just because of the pace. I mean, there just wasn't that hot pace that he needs to be able to run into. He's forever behind.
Yeah.
If it collapses, he's got a shot. The Derby collapsed last year. If it collapses this year, he's one that you have to at least consider, and you're going to get a lot better price at 4-1.
I've heard Aaron say it a million times. You do know what the horse is going to do.
Yeah.
There's no guessing what that horse is going to do. And isn't it amazing how some horses you just can't get them to go in the beginning?
They added blinkers, and he's just like, nah, you guys are silly. I'm all the way here in the back.
Yeah, I ain't going to waste myself. I'll get up there and get a piece of it. That's all I want anyway. It's kind of like that. No, I don't care what you do. I'm going to be dead last.
I'm just going to go ahead and do my thing here. We've got 2 major preps coming up this weekend, including the San Diego Derby. It'll be interesting to see how that field draws, whether or not, we expect Practical Move to be in there. It'll be interesting to see if Cave Rock shows up as well. Work today. Looks like he's setting up for a prep here in the Derby. Can't actually go to the Derby, but would definitely be a player if ends up in that field. Keeneland opening up here soon as well, so we get some Keeneland racing going today. And this is, let's see here, who mentioned it? Pedlo. We've got a pick 6 carryover, mandatory payout at Gulfstream Park. The last 6 races of the day should be a close to $5 million pool. We're going to cover one of those races in the race of the day, so don't worry. You'll get Papa Dude's opinion in the 10th race at Gulfstream today. But before we do that, let's jump into some sports here. We've got the Orioles and the Red Sox. Red Sox minus 140, total sitting at 9 for this game. This has been a really entertaining series. Irvin versus Hook today on the mound. Papa Dude, what do you like here?
Well, both teams have been, they can hit. So you're tempted, but 9's an awful lot. I'm not very high on the Red Sox. I know some people are. And Baltimore's got to get their pitching straightened out. I took the Red Sox, I think, today. Who's the pitcher for Baltimore?
Irvin.
No, I took Baltimore today. I did. I took the Orioles today. I'm not high on the Red Sox pitcher. So I'm going to go the Orioles in an upset today, if you can call a game 3 of the season an upset. But I'm going to pick the Baltimore Orioles today. I don't think the Red Sox are quite there yet.
Yeah, the Red Sox pitcher Tanner Hook was a kind of touted guy coming out of the draft, but has never really delivered to that. Now 26. I agree with you, Papa Dude. I like the O's here. They're one of those teams that's taking advantage of the base running rules and have been very aggressive on the base pass. They actually had a half inning where they stole 4 bases without anyone even trying to throw them out in the first game against the Red Sox. So give me the O's and the over here. I think both of those are decent looks. Let's jump over to the Phillies going in to take on the Rangers. Rangers minus 120, total sitting at 8.5 here, Papa Dude. Who do you like?
Phillies off to a horrible start. Got bombed yesterday. I thought they'd win the game yesterday. 16-3, I think it was with Zach Wheeler. Yep. And so that was a brutal loss. I'm going to go the Rangers in the sweep today.
I agree with you. This is Sunday Night Baseball tonight. One of the main reasons we're covering it, in case you want a little action to end your Sunday here. I would rather have Perez, who's on the mound for the Rangers. The Phillies have a bunch of injuries early in this season already. 2 of their major power hitters are out of the lineup. They can't hit the ball quite as well as they will be able to later in the season. They're one of those teams where if this goes poorly, I might be interested in coming back and seeing like what odds to make the playoffs type things I can get. Because when they get their two big guys back, they're going to be much better than they are right now. So you may be able to get a nice plus money there, although the division is very difficult there with the Braves sitting and waiting for you and the Mets and what they did.
Yeah, it's a very tough division. The Phillies kind of came out of nowhere last year. Sometimes when you see a team do that, they don't play as well the next year. So it's going to be interesting to watch how they progress.
Now, Papa Dude, I bet like 6 games in the NHL tonight. I mean, I was just all over the board here. We'll start out with the Rangers minus 135 taking on the Capitals. Total at 6 here. I bet the Rangers minus the 135. The Capitals are 1-6 in their last 7. They are really struggling. I think to me, this is just one of those spots where I'll take a Rangers team who has been playing better than the Capitals, who has a better goaltender than the Capitals, and has better offense than the Capitals. To me, 135 is a little bit short. What did you do here?
Oh, I agree with you totally. And the Capitals can't score. They just can't score. You know, that total, you're figuring the Ranger, Capitals are holding some people down. I can see a 4-1 type of game, can't you? that total might be, you might go the under the 6, but I'm with you. I think the Rangers win. Yesterday I went 12-1 on the money line in hockey. That's impossible. A lot of those games, the games weren't too tough. There were some one-sided games.
I don't know that the late games were kind of fun. You had the Golden Knights -115, the Kings -102. Both of those I thought were bettable late last night.
I think I missed Arizona. I think that's the game I missed. The Sharks. I think Sioux beat them.
Yeah. No, that's a tough one. Two shitty teams.
Yeah.
All right, let's head over to the Devils going in to take on the Jets -115. Total sitting at 6.5 here. Papa Dude, what do you like?
I like the under in this game. I do. A huge game for the Jets. Well, actually, the Devils too, because the Devils are zeroing in on Carolina. Yeah, we talked about the Devils a lot. We don't give them a lot of credit. What a season they've had. I took the Devils. I think they're better than the Jets. The Jets really need to win this game, but I just think the Devils are better. So at the -115, I'm not going to bet the Jets. I'll go the Devils.
Yeah, this is another game I bet. I bet the Devils -105. They're just playing better hockey right now than the Jets are. Jets offensively not quite as dynamic as the Devils are. This is one I agree with you. I kind of lean toward the under, but the Devils scare me. Every now and then they just throw up goals in that second period, and all of a sudden those games fly over late. So give me the Devils here -105. We've got one NBA game. The Bucks trying to rebound from a spanking the Celtics gave them last time out, taking on the 76ers. Two of the three MVP candidates that are left in the race still here with Embiid and with Giannis. Total sitting at 236.5. Real quick before we do this, how frustrating is the NBA? I mean, yesterday we pick a game. It's -1. By tip, it's -8. Luckily, we picked the right side.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy to see these line moves because of injury news. Yeah. Well, and inactive news. I shouldn't even say injury news. These guys aren't hurt. They're just not playing.
Exactly.
It's just wild to see these fluctuations.
I know, and we don't have a lot to bet today. You hate to bet the NBA, or I do. I struggle with it. I think the Bucks bounce back today. I think that totals high, don't you?
Feels a little high.
Yeah, I would go the under on the total for sure. I think the Bucks need to show the Sixers who they are. So I'm going to go with the Bucks today.
All right. I'm torn here. I'll go under. I didn't bet this game. I'm not going to bet a side. I'm pretty much not betting NBA until about 4:00 in the afternoon now. So yeah. I know exactly who is playing. Yeah. It makes you feel a little bit better. It's fun when you play -1, you get -8. It sucks when it's the other way around. Like that Lakers game the day before where I played the Timberwolves -1 and they go off as 3.5 point.
Did that go to -8 because someone didn't play? Is that what happened?
Yes. I don't know if it was Kyrie or if it was Luka that was out, but one of the two did not play.
Luka did play.
Luka did play, yeah. So Kyrie was out, so therefore all of a sudden we're -8 instead of -1, which is just wild to see that kind of adjustment. All right, let's go to the race of the day here. Gulfstream Race number 10, fifth race in the Pick 6 sequence. That is a mandatory payout. 5 million buckaroos expected into that pool, Papa Dude. Mm-hmm. Really tough sequence here. You have 2 or 3 races I could legitimately go 5 or 6 deep in. This is one of them. I thought this was a tough race. 8-5 favorites going to be the 4-horse here. But man, like I'm not so confident this 4 should be 8-5 in this spot. There's quite a bit of other speed, and we're coming first off the layoff, first time back from Woodbine. Generally, that's not gone well over this Gulfstream turf.
Right, and I hasn't won in a long time. Hadn't won since 2021. He's been in a lot tougher races than what this one is. But like you say, hasn't ran since the 17th of September. I don't think he should be 8-5 at all. If he gets out in front, he might be hard to catch. Maybe, they can't let him just run off. I think class-wise, he's the best. But I kind of settled on, I think it's safe conduct. What is that, the 6?
The 6, yeah.
I kind of settled on him a little bit. Did not run well at all last time out. But what's happened? They're shortening him up. He was at 1 1/16 last time. He's going 7.5 furlongs today, and he was leading that race all the way, and then just quit. And it was just too long for him. If he can run back to where he was at before, I kind of think he might be able to win. So I settled in on him because they're shortening him up, and IRAD's on him. And I think this is a race you take a crack at the favorite.
Yeah, it should be a pretty good trip here for the 6-horse Safe Conduct. Should be able to sit right behind the other speed, be able to make a move around the far turn. That last race that you were mentioning, the Canadian Turf, winner of that race was Emmanuel. Pretty good horse. That ran second, Steady On, won yesterday at Gulfstream Park in a stakes race. Fort Washington ran third in that race. Fort Washington would have won or ran second in the race yesterday had he not gotten absolutely stopped down the lane as well. So quality race that the 6 is coming out of. I agree with you on Safe Conduct. I think that's a very likely winner. I do think the 4 is your most likely winner, gets smoking, but I don't really want to bet him at 8-5.
Right.
For a little bit of a price, give me Max KO, the 5-horse here, 6-1. This is going to be the 4th off the layoff for Max KO. Numbers have improved each of the previous 3 starts. This is a 7-year-old that generally wants to run into his best efforts. And now that we've got 3 under the belt, I think you're going to see a nice turnaround here. The trip, again, I think is going to be absolutely perfect. Max KO should get enough pace to close into, but doesn't need to be coming from the cloud. So it's that middle move. I think he got a perfect trip here. So Max KO sitting at 6-1. I don't disagree with Dennis either. The 12-horse, honestly, both Walsh horses, Saez on the 2, Ortiz on the 12, are both interesting prices in this spot. We'll see if we get 20-1 on that 12. I've heard a couple of people who like it already. Yeah. Did you look at the $12 Papa Dude?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I agree with Dennis. Sure. So I think this is a race where you can beat the favorite.
Yeah.
Even though he is the best horse.
It's a tough race. And this is what we're seeing consistently through this pick 6 sequence. So it's going to pay today, because even if the favorite wins here, you're not going to have many people singling this 4.
That's right.
So you're going to have a spread race here, and you're going to have people trying to find other ways to get around the 4. It's rare that you can single a favorite and separate yourself. That's probably the case here. If you single this 4, you're probably going to separate yourself, because most tickets here will be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 deep in this spot, because it is a tough race.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, let's talk best bets here. Aaron mailed one in. He's going to take LSU plus 3.5, taking on Iowa. And I agree with him here. Look, Caitlin Clark is phenomenal. I think we can all agree on that. One of the best watches in basketball right now. I know I watched that South Carolina Iowa game. Phenomenal game to watch. This is another one that should be a lot of fun to watch. LSU should be like a 1-point dog, 1-point favorite, pick 'em, something like that. You can just feel the Caitlin Clark money rolling in here, and that's why we're all the way up to 3.5. I agree. I think LSU is the right side here. Papa Dude, what do you think?
I think they should be favored. I do. I look at Iowa. They've lost 6 games. They play in the Big Ten. I don't think the Big Ten women's basketball is just that good. I mean, it's not great, So they found a way to lose 6 games. The boss bitch is in control of LSU, and again, I mean that with all respect.
In a positive, loving way.
That's right. She is. I can't bet against her. She's got the experience. LSU was awesome in that 4th quarter against Tech. If they can do that, but here's the thing with Caitlin Clark: she may get her 40, and they may lose. Yeah. If she can do that against South Carolina, I think she can do it against anybody. I thought they would hold her down. I really did. I was shocked that she went out and did what she did. She's phenomenal. She's fun to watch. I wish this game was tonight. I don't, 2:30 in the afternoon. That's weird. I think.
It's a earlier tip off here for a championship game, 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 East Coast. Iowa was a 2 seed. They lost 6 games this year. It's not like this team is just unfathomable right now. Coming off that big win against South Carolina, I understand why people want to play it. But as Pedlo said, all the public money on Iowa. Everything is just rolling in there. I'll take the other side of this one.
Well, I think another thing is, too, the public money in Iowa. How many people follow women's basketball? Nobody. There's not very many, so they see Caitlin Clark, and they say, let's bet it.
And let's be honest, too. It's much more fun to bet Iowa in this game.
Oh,
it's more fun to root for Caitlin Clark in Iowa than it will be to root for LSU.
I'm rooting for her, and that's why I didn't bet the game. I don't want to root for LSU because I don't like LSU, first of all. And I want to bet for her. I think that would be a great story for her to carry them to the win.
And this is why we're getting 3.5 right there. That exact, right?
You bet.
And that's why I think that the LSU side is right here. Should be a phenomenal game. ABC, 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern. Make sure you at least flip over and check that one out as you're watching the Gulfstream Park card today. All right, Papa Dude, I'll go first here with my best bet. Give me the Islanders Canes first period under goal and a half, under 105. Going back to this, we've talked about it quite a bit on here. Canes, one of the better under home teams. Islanders, one of the better under road teams. This game's lined at 5.5, not 6. So I'm surprised it's only minus 105. A lot of times you see those in the minus 120-ish range. So I feel like we're getting a little bit better value. Yep. I almost made one of your 2 games my best bet, so I'll talk about that as well because I flipped it over from that one to this one. But give me the Islanders Canes first period under a goal and a half here, minus 105.
I agree with you. That's almost the bet I made too, right here.
So I think, Papa Dude, you're starting to get in on these derivative bets too.
Well, I think it should be one. I can't see it going over 1-0 really in this. These are 2 teams that are really good defensively. Should be really low scoring game.
All right, Papa Dude, tell us what you got.
I'm glad you put it up there because I kind of forgot. Before we get off, though, I do think because we're not on tomorrow, we got to give our pick for the Final Four game, don't we? For the championship game. So we'll cover that and then we'll do that. We'll cover this one, then we'll do that at the end here. I went with an under for the entire game on the Devils Jets, because I feel like this game's going to be fairly low scoring. I think the Devils, I'm with you a little bit. I am a little worried because sometimes they do go off. But this, I think, is going to be played pretty close to the vest. I just think because it's kind of a playoff-like atmosphere for the Jets. So I think this one will go under. And the Bruins against the Blues, I almost took the 1.5. But the damn Blues sometimes piss me off, and they play really good in games like this. They do, and the Bruins are coming off a tough game last night, and of course, the Blues didn't even show up in Nashville, so they didn't waste any energy. But we're getting plus 157. I can't believe the Bruins aren't more favored in that game than they are.
Yeah, I bet the Bruins minus 1.5 plus 110 already.
Yeah, I can see that.
And to me, it's just one of those spots where, like, a lot of people are like, wow, it's back-to-back games on the road. Look, the Bruins goaltenders are both phenomenal. They both should be in the Vezina conversation.
That's right. And the Blues will play Bennington today, so that might have something to do with it. But I can see 4-1. Don't you? I just don't think the Blues can score much on them.
The problem is this is just not a good matchup for the Blues.
No.
If you look at the games the Blues have been winning, it's against the Ducks. It's against the Canucks. It's against teams that play wide open defense so that the Blues are able to go around and they'll create scoring opportunities. And then if they cash in on 4 or 5 of them, all of a sudden they're really dangerous. But you know what? The Bruins don't play wide open.
No,
they play tight, which means that you have to guard them well in your own zone.
Yeah.
You know what the Blues suck at?
Oh, that's right.
Guarding anyone in their own zone and clearing people from in front of the net. And that's what the Bruins do to score. I mean, this is just a matchup made in hell for the Blues here. So give me the Bruins minus the goal.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the Bruins winning. It's the other game that I'm worried about. So we'll see if we can get that plus 157.
All right, Papa Dude teased it, so we'll talk about it. We've got a national title game tomorrow night. We will not be on tomorrow. Dudes Who Bet Weekly. No, Dudes Who Bet Weekly, right?
Dudes Who Bet Sports.
Dudes Who Bet Sports. There it is. Weekly, daily. I get it all messed up. Dudes Who Bet Sports will be on tomorrow before the championship game.
Oh, we will? That's news to me.
Oh, I just assumed you would. You're on every Monday. No? All right.
Is Aaron traveling today?
She's traveling today. That's why he's not on.
Well, we might then. Okay.
Yeah. So he'll be back home tomorrow. Look at this. I know more about your son's schedule than you do. I mean, this happens every single time we go through this.
He tells me nothing.
All right. We got the UConn Huskies opening as a 7.5-point favorite against SDSU. That has since been bet down to 7. I might have made the game 6.5. I was surprised it opened 7.5. Total sitting here at 133. I made the total 136, so a little lower than I was expecting as well. Part of the reason I had it at 6.5 is because of the total. The lower the total, the lower the spread should be because there's less points available, right? And so I was surprised we started this low with this high of a total. I have not bet the game. I ended up betting UConn right before the game yesterday because I finally stopped chickening out and bet UConn. Papa Dude, do you have any leans, any bets that you're going to make for this game?
Well, San Diego State shouldn't be in it. That's the first thought I have. And they earned it, but Florida Atlantic outplayed them. They really did. And they, a great shot. Just heartbreaking for Florida Atlantic and all of us that were kind of pulling for that, that angle there. UConn's just smashing people. They're just smashing people. It's 7 right now.
It's 7 right now.
Well, I tell you, I think I'd bet him at 7. I would like another point to come off of it some. And the under's 133.5.
133 flat.
133. They went way over that against Florida Atlantic yesterday. I don't think so. I don't know if San Diego State can hold them down. Do you?
This to me feels like the San Diego State Bama game, except what we've seen from UConn makes me think they are not going to have those mistakes that Bama made, right? Bama shot the ball very poorly from the outside. They gave up that 12-0 run in the second half out of a timeout when they were up 9 going into it. I don't see this UConn team doing that.
No.
And that to me is kind of the difference. If you watch that Bama game, it was just guards after guards chucking up threes or driving into the trees and getting blocked, and they did not change anything up. That's not what UConn's going to do. I mean, I kind of feel like you got to play UConn here. If I'm going to wait around, see what the number goes to. If it's 6.5, I'll be a UConn better. If it stays at 7, I think it's right around the correct number. I do like the over. I think over 133 is probably a play here. Although UConn's defense has been phenomenal. I mean,
that's the thing we're overlooking about them. Man, they are just shutting people down.
Yeah, they were giving up 58 a game going into the Final Four. Take on Miami, give up sub 65. I mean, it's just very impressive.
Score.
Yeah.
And, I don't think it's going to go down a whole lot. I just don't. So I think UConn's going to win. I'll be shocked if they don't. I really will.
Well, make sure you check out Dudes Who Bet Sports tomorrow. If it's
yes.
So that you can get the full breakdown here from Papa Dude and Aaron. We'll be back on Wednesday, Dudes Who Bet Daily, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. We'll have a live show next week for the Santa Anita Derby. We've got what is that other race? Santa Anita Derby. We got the Bluegrass from Keeneland as well. So 2 big time Derby preps.
We have one at Aqueduct.
Yes, the Wood is next weekend at Aqueduct as well.
Yeah.
The Wood Memorial at Aqueducts have got 3 big time preps. Jeez. Make sure you check out the Magic Mike Show tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. Magic and I go through all of the Kentucky Derby news from this last weekend leading into the next one, as well as what I made the morning line for the top 5 favorites, because I did that last night when I was a little intoxicated, and I still think it's a good job. All right, let's go over the best bets of the day here and get out of here. Aaron, LSU plus 3.5. Papa Dude, Jets, Devils under 6.5, and the Bruins money line plus 157. Give me the Canes and the Islanders first period under a goal and a half, minus 105. 6-6 for the weeks. Up $5, so you can go and get a Happy Meal or something. Year to date down $418. Don't do that. Don't get a Happy Meal.
You can't get it anyway for $5.
No, you can't. Look at that. See, I haven't been to McDonald's in forever. All right, here we go, guys. Have a great day of betting. Good luck with the Rainbow Pick 6 over at Gulfstream as well, and we will see everybody, tomorrow, Wednesday, and we're pretty much on live every day. So good luck with all your bets, and we'll see you soon.